talking. Oh, John's just... What's
John's having a mare.
I pressed the wrong button and presented myself to everybody, so I kind of won.
Stress do incredible things.
You won a special award.
Oh, that's airy.
Oh, we've already lost Rick. He's gone. He's gone. He's gone.
Rick's here.
Hey!
Hey!
No special video today, Chris.
Yeah,
no, I can't keep pulling that one. I might do it. I might do one that's
you could just
got me talking
record
for
an hour
about
and a half
at least a minute. At least a minute after.
Yeah, just cut straight to Vic. Yeah, just cut straight to Vic. That's it.
Just do an hour and a half of nodding, and we'll just play along.
Go like this. Go like this to the camera. Ooh.
Oh, hello. Well, we'll ask his mummy.
Shall I start?
Yeah, go on.
Yes.
It's a Thursday. Yes, it fucking is. On tonight's show, we will be placing a vaping item in the Hall of Fame, the Ideal Show Hall of Fame. We will be talking mainly about squonking. We'll find out what's in Craig's drawers, hopefully, time permitting.
I think we can do it.
Doing Troll of the Week. We'll be doing Mod Showcase. We've got a very special mod for you today. I don't know. No, we do. We do have an amazing mod. And we have. Let's get into it. John, how's your week been? Got a new motor?
On your bike.
How was Friends Fest? How's your week been? What are you vaping on, and what did you have for breakfast?
I've had a good week. So far it's been a nice kind of short-ish week because obviously I had today off. What did I had for breakfast? What did I have for breakfast? I had an elderflower and gooseberry luxury creamy yogurt from Marks and Spencer's, which I'm a fan of.
Very British.
It's very British, but they leave the skins in the gooseberry bit, and it's not very pleasant. It's not my favourite. Last week I'd had honey, vanilla, and ginger. That one is good.
Get Craig to have a word with M&S.
Yeah,
well, the lemon curd ones are good. No, every time I go into M&S and try and get some, they're always fucking taking it off stock. I'm still waiting for that spicy sausage tortellini to come back.
Yeah, it comes in circles, doesn't it? What you want to do is talk to old people. They've got power at Marks and Spencer's. Yeah. How was Friends Fest? Friends Fest was great because I got to go with Simon, who's my boss, also my best mate, used to be my housemate years ago, and we used to watch Friends all the time. So that was good. So it was me, Simon, Catherine, and there was not a lot of anyone. I don't even feel bad. As I said earlier, I've got no fucks to give.
It's a little bit girly, John. I've got to say.
Two blokes, friends.
Oh no, there was because there was.
That's a misspent youth.
Yeah, it was
before hipsters.
What was on after Sex and the City?
No, I've never seen it. That is good though.
It's brilliant.
You say that, right? But Sex and the City, I don't watch it, but my wife does. And if you think, they used to get Mr. Ed, they used to rub peanut butter on its teeth to get it look like it was talking. Sarah Jessica Parker, they keep it going for ages. Close up. That's a lot of peanut butter.
They made it exactly like they made Thunderbirds.
Did they? So what's a stuffed horse?
Yeah.
That's clever.
Amazing.
It's
what
Sarah.
do with paper mache.
Yeah. But Friends Fest, it was good because it was good to kind of just have a nice day out, really. And it was in Chelmsford. It's a lot of palaver over not a lot there. I will say that.
You could have looked up the Bonner while you were down in Essex.
Yeah, that's true. Actually, yeah. We didn't. He should have come along. Should have come, really. But he didn't. He wasn't there.
He's not a hipster.
The other thing is, they really try and get you with. I've been to a few of these events. The vendors there, the like concession stand, they were all themed. and they were ridiculously. I mean, the prices are fucking mental. They've got an offer: 2 cocktails for £14. I think that was much of an offer.
Oh God!
Offer to rob you.
Burger, chips, and 3 drinks was 16 quid. That's quite a lot.
Jesus.
For about 4
It's dear in
chips and a
Manhattan, though,
burger.
isn't it?
Yes, true. It's true. True. Yeah, it was good, but it was good to kind of it was a reminisce kind of thing. It was good. It was good. That was all the questions, wasn't it?
Oh, what are you vaping on, mate?
Okay, yeah, that one. I'll do that one. First things first. I had a bit of a fuck up just before the show, but don't matter. Well, first of all, I broke the glass on my tank on my billet box. I didn't know it was broken, but I had a spare one, so all's okay. It was okay. It was okay. But the fuck up wasn't that. The fuck up was that I thought I was putting in a 0.7 Nautilus coil, and I was in fact putting in a 1.68 ohm coil. So I'm trying to currently long hit a 1.68 ohm coil with limeade and abetting deadline by those plumy fellas in the billet box. 1.68, but I've had to put it up to about 15.
I bet it's like if you pull any harder on that, you're just going to end up sucking the board through the fucking drip tip.
It's not that bad. The hole's not that tiny. It's not great, I will say.
Oh, I'm going to lung it. It
was giving me nothing to begin with.
Just end up with his finger in his mouth.
Suck the billet box inside out and then just throw it away like a Capri Sun. Next up, I have got probably the same as a lot of our viewers, I think, which is
what problems?
I'm doing well. Is Nata by it's Nata e-liquid, which is doing quite well in the UK at the moment. I don't know if I've got any kits left. At just Nick, we haven't got any concentrates, but there was 17 this morning. Don't know if there's any left. Yeah, but I think a lot of people will be making it tonight because got that in the Wasp, in the SQ. Yeah.
I thought they'd all be sending you messages saying how long do I leave it to steep.
A lot of people have been sending me messages saying exactly that. I've answered a few people. I've said leave it a week if you think, and I'm not going to use the fucking word. It's aging, but I'd leave it a week if you want. But I would try it. Try it. I don't know why people. I would try everything you mix. Try it straight away. Everyone's got a dripper, haven't they? Just tell me 2 P's worth of cotton. Try it. See what you think. If you don't like it, leave it. You know, it's a bit raw. Leave it. If not, leave it.
Yeah.
Be all right. That's what I do. I've got a challenge on from Daryl Waring. At the moment, I started the shot with a desk check of 4 beers, and if I can show them all empty at the end, I win a prize. That's the kind of challenge I like.
Don't I get a prize for this?
You need a prize.
Slay you.
I think you need a prize buying that cheap old rubbish.
I am buying.
No.
Yeah, hold on. Do they all drink that at school?
I did when I was younger.
What is it? I didn't even see what it was. What was it?
It's just a huge bottle
Champagne.
of cheap cider.
Oh, a huge bottle of cheap. That's sweet.
It was at the bottom of the slide.
I'm going to talk about this in a little while, but the next thing I'm vaping on is Mr. Salty's Grappleberry, 45 milligram by Crystal Distribution.
I was really hoping you were going to say balls. I was really hoping you'd say balls at the end of that. It's Mr. Salty's.
Mr. Salty's balls, which is what? Which is I bought this from Gaslight Vapor in the US. Thanks again, Amanda, for sending that on.
And is it actually 45 milligram, Nick? Through the
45 milligram, yeah.
Yeah, but it doesn't work the same, does it? What's the equivalent?
I'll explain. I'll go into the salty nicotine thing in a bit. Yeah. I'll do that. We'll get through the handshakes and I'll do that. Oh, look at that. Bit of a surprise here.
How is it a surprise?
What is it, John?
Play them all.
What is it?
Fucking hell, man. Be a fucking team player. What's this?
Fucking
You're going to go along with the
96 weeks. 96 weeks of this shite.
Vapor giant nano.
Fucking hell.
On top.
Just goes on and fucking on.
The Dacus flask. It's got Bradley Mint in it.
What actually is it?
It's a Vapor Giant Nano on top of a Dacus flask, and it's got raspberry mint in it.
That's not a nano, though, is it? Come on.
It looks too big.
Yeah, I'm working it out in my head, and I've kind of figured that at least 2 hours of all of the shows that we've done have been about that.
Well, yeah.
But
It's not a nano, though. I stand by my
it goes around in circles.
There's nothing nano about that. Serpent Mini's a nano, isn't it? That's
Look
not
at it. Look at
It's
it.
relative.
big
It's relative.
Compare it to, if you compare it to the billet box, look, it's just about the same size.
Yeah, it's huge.
It is shit.
It's not a nano.
Richard, how's your week been? You don't eat breakfast. I know what you had for tea. Oh, okay, fuck it, because we already cheated. So I'm going to say, how's your week been? What did you have for dinner yesterday? If an ice cream truck was going past and you went out to see it, what they had it, all the favourites, childhood and now. What would you order, and what are you vaping?
Oh, fuck.
Right. Okay. Yesterday, I had. I've invented a meal. It's
cornflake lasagna.
I make some super noodles in the traditional manner, and I make a piece of toast, and I cut it into 6 pieces.
Right.
The toast, and that allows it to perfectly sit along the bottom of the bowl.
Right.
I then grate some cheese on top of that, and then put the super noodles on top of that.
Fucking hell, it's short.
That's what
Carb loading, that, isn't it? That's carb loading. You going for a jog after that?
Yeah, I did.
Fucking disgusting.
It's really good, and the toast goes really soggy with all the.
Did you
I
do
think
that
we need
just so you
to
didn't have to clean the bowl? Did you do that just so you didn't have to clean the bowl or something? Is that the
If
reason?
it was available in a restaurant, I'd have it.
Really?
I don't know what you could do, Richard.
What flavour super noodles are we talking? Are you talking chicken
Curry.
or what? Curry super noodles.
You know what you could do that could save you a bit of time there, Richard? It might be a good idea. It's those tortilla bowl things that you get. You could use one of those and put the noodles inside that.
Yes, I've experimented with wider bowls and pasta bowls.
A lot of people think you're.
No, I mean the actual
teenager.
those tortilla boats. They're formed into a bowl, aren't they?
You know, on Ready Steady Cook when they empty the carrier bag.
Yeah.
That's all I had in my carrier bag.
Yeah.
1 slice of bread, some super noodles, a kettle. I don't know what I was doing.
Did you invent it yesterday, or is it a thing you've done before?
I do it all the time.
That is disgusting.
He's a man of talent. He can just dream up these things on the fly.
It was fucking
No, it's
big.
really nice. It's really special. I'm waiting for the super noodles to come with a slice of toast salad to them.
It's certainly special. How has your week been, and the ice cream question?
You asked. I actually had fish and chips today. It's totally normal. The ice cream man thing, I'll probably settle begrudgingly on a knobbly bobbly.
Knobbly bobbly. God, that is a retro, isn't it? Yeah.
But our ice cream man around our way used to sell fags.
No, knobbly bobbly.
Bobbly?
Knobbly bobbly is a lolly with like hundreds and thousands, but they're balls.
You know the top of a fab.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The whole thing's like the top of the fab.
Oh, right, okay.
All right.
How's your week been?
Our ice cream man used to sell fags though, so I'd have gone for.
Did he do singles?
Yeah.
Yeah, I've heard of that, but never where I was.
I would say the name of the company, but it'd be libelous, wouldn't it?
No, if they did it, it's fine.
I know, but I've got no evidence.
Is it Mr. Whippy?
No, it wasn't. No, it wasn't. Okay. What was the other thing? that it?
How's your week
Walls.
been?
Yeah, fine.
Walls.
Okay, so vaping on tonight. Vaping on the very on DNA 75C Squonker off of Lost Vape.
Ooh.
Got mine in crocodile skin.
Nice little bit of leatherette.
Jimmy Nail would like that.
Yeah, yeah. It's a thing.
Matchy shoes.
It's a thing. The DNA 75C we have talked about on the show. It is really good.
It is.
That's the thing.
It is a good board, yeah.
It does seem a shame to put it inside that, but that's all right.
The bottle is just ridiculously soft, which I guess is a good thing. People like that, don't they? I would like somewhere in between the mod maker one and this one, though. But there we go.
Silicon is very soft. Yeah, people
Crazy
some like.
soft.
Yeah,
It's I can't massively fault this. It's really nice looking. It's got a great board, etc., etc. My one reservation with this, I might be wrong. I might be barking at the wrong tree, but the way the bottle connects to the 510. I don't know how well that shows. But
that's huge. That's a huge bottle.
No, it's 7 mil.
Is it? It looks massive in that angle.
But what about compared to my hand?
Can I just
It
do
looks
this?
like a 50 ml bottle.
This is just for Daryl wearing. One.
It's just sort of hanging off. It's just sort of hanging off that 510. I don't know.
Doesn't the tube go over a pin on it?
Only a bit.
Can you get another tube?
I don't know where you'd get one.
I might be able to suggest somewhere.
I've still think though, haven't you? Right. So that's the thing. I'm really enjoying it. It's really pretty. It's got a great board. The battery life's been surprisingly good. I don't know if the DNA 75 is famed for its efficiency or what, but the battery life's been surprisingly good. At 55.5 watts, I'm getting an entire bottle's worth. So there we go.
So what it is, if you was at 55.6, it'd be awful, that battery life.
Yes. Yeah. So yeah.
Tony says in chat, has it leaked yet?
Not
Just
all.
very quickly on that, I asked Mark, and he hasn't had a problem either. Mark hasn't had a problem with it.
Not at all. I've just, do you know when you just get a feeling that I don't know, how is this one connected? It just, yeah, on a typical Squonker, that pin that you slide the tube on is just longer. I think that's all it is. It's just longer, and as a result, feels more secure. I think if I violently pulled the door off, the bottle would come with. I don't know, but that hasn't happened. I don't know. I'm jumping the gun a bit. It's a first impression, but it's really great so far. So that's that. That was from steamisland.com. Sent me that.
Hey.
I have the hexome with the velocity on top, and inside I have Stuart's Hachu from Vulcan Bros.
Banana one, isn't it?
Bless you.
This is the custard one.
Oh.
Number one, Hachu.
Oh, is it, Nick? Is it good? Is it all right?
Fantastic. But
Have you not tried them yet, Craig?
I've only tried the one, and it was it made my tongue go numb.
Oh yeah.
I've tried 1 and 2, Neko, and
Have they got numbers? I didn't even notice they were numbered.
yeah, want to be bothered.
That's
I
amazing.
really like the custard. Really like the custard.
Oh, I just saw the number. Sorry.
Oh, I
Never
didn't
even
know
noticed
Stuart.
before.
I didn't know Stuart could count.
Yeah.
We'll see. Maybe, I don't know. Maybe the numbers on yours don't correspond to the same flavours.
Oh God! Well,
I'll tell you, I've got.
That's the chew, Richard.
Hachu, yeah, custard. It's gorgeous.
That's banana, though, isn't it?
No,
What?
that's
No,
It is.
there's another one that's similarly named. Have you got? Is it Hackachew?
I've got
I've
chew
got
here.
them here. Hachu, look, I've got the cards. Hachu is rich custard and warm bacon.
Yeah, they do correspond. That's one.
Tame is apple spice mojito and fresh mint.
Right.
Ryu is
Oh,
frozen
that chew
berries.
is number 3.
Chow, that's Chow number 3.
Chow. Oh, okay.
I don't
I've
know the
got Hackachew,
pronunciations
which
on
is-
this.
I got that one. Is that number one? Is it?
Yes,
Yeah,
number
that's
1.
the-
That's custard. That's really nice.
What's number 5?
Have you tried Pikachu yet?
Number 5. Oh,
You just said
number 5
it
is
was-
Game, which is apple spice mojito.
Ah, yeah, that don't work.
Oh, what is that?
I did try that one. That was the one. I'm not a fan of that one. I haven't tried
yeah.
the rest.
I've got a real aversion to just trying loads of juices at once now. I can't do it anymore, so I just work my way through them.
Yeah.
And yeah, number 1's fantastic. So that's that. Check out Vulcan Bros. Check out Stuart's thing. That's thing.
Oh yeah.
And yeah, I genuinely love that. But custard, I'm very easily pleased with custards. But that is really nice. And lastly, the SQ with the conspiracy with this one in there.
Mm.
No, it's not. It's Nata in there.
Nata. Oh, that's-
Available for just sending. Hey, Craig, how has your
Hello.
week been?
All right.
How's your week been? When was the last time you had custard and what was it on? And what did you have for breakfast and what are you vaping?
Right, the last time I had custard was actually, I didn't have it with anything. I got one of those big tubs from Marks and Spencer's and just sat and ate the whole lot on its own cold.
The Madagascar.
It's because that the whole.
Which one did you go with? The
Madagascar.
Madagascar one or the simple one?
Yeah, you got to go for the Madagascar
It's
one.
cracking. Did you heat it up or did you go for it cold?
Cold. It's got to be
It's
cold.
good.
It's got-
Cold.
Yeah.
I'll
tell you what's nice.
Bramley apple pie
Yeah.
from Lots of Spencer's, hot with cold
Hot.
custard on it.
Yes, exactly. Yeah, exactly that. I was going to say that it wins.
Fucking
They're really good.
Bang on.
Yeah. If you get because what you can do is I've got like square bowls, you see. So what I do is I put a dollop of custard in each corner around it, and then two around the sides. So it's almost like half.
Smash it.
So yeah, so that's the future. That is.
They do the best pre-packed apple pie. Lots of Spencer's. It's fucking brilliant.
Yes. Yeah, they do. Yeah. How's my week been? It's been all right. I've been ill, so I've had a really bad cold. I picked it up last Friday, and then spent all weekend feeling crap. Then came home early on Monday because one of the guys at work's doing the Polaris, the cycling thing up in the Yorkshire Dales, where they spend 2 days cycling around and doing all sorts of silly things. So because I'd got a cold and I didn't want to give him a cold, I ended up going back home early. And then spent 2 days ill on the Tuesday and Wednesday, which was great. And then went back to work today. So
I spoke to you, so I recorded.
yeah. What were the other questions? What am I vaping on? And
Breakfast.
no, I didn't do breakfast. I only did I did a
Lunch
tuna
then.
sandwich. Yeah, tuna sandwich for lunch with a packet of those cheese and onion mini cheddar thingies. They're quite good. They are. You get quite a lot. You get good bang for your buck with those. You get quite a lot. So I had those. And then what am I vaping on? I am vaping on because I'm vaping everything down. I've got the dog mods with the Origin on top. Because I'm all of the tanks I've got lined up at the back are all kind of like being vape dry. I'm vaping the Ubertoot dry and everything else. So I've got that, and in that I've got Raspberry Fields from Strawberry Fields from Simon, Just Had Nick, usual kind of places. Next, I'm vaping this one dry. I've got the Wapari. That's not now, Mark. I'd just like to say to Mark Todd, this is a proper Wapari, none of that fake plastic shit. This is an actual real one. Like I mean, it's very, very nice. And the Ubertoot V1 on top, and a Big's tip, which I think just about matches the colour, doesn't it? I think.
Yeah, nice.
Kind of pretty close. And in that, I have got Bigglesworth e-liquids Amalfi from Bigglesworth, which is really good. It's like a lemon pound cake type thing. So, which is really, really like that. Good. The other bits I've got the other Ubertoot, which I'm vaping dry at the moment on the SVB, on Nigel's one. And in that, I have got. Oh, fuck. God damn it. What have I got in it? Oh, I've got a Bavarian Bad Boy from Yorkshire Vapor. In that. It's really, really good.
Nice.
So I'm enjoying that. Yeah, so I'm really liking that. It's really good juice, that. Then I've got Nigel's little SVB, a little Squonker with a wasp on top and a garish yellow. It's not piss. This one is actually yellow. It is actually yellow. Respect. And in that, I've got. Oh, I think I've got in that. I've got funnel cake from this one, from Coil Vapes.
Coil Vapes, yeah. There's been a kind of thing of funnel cake and celebration by Coil Vapes. They kind of they were one of those ones that simmered in the background and picked up because people tried it.
What are you talking
Yeah,
about?
I think it. I do. I honestly think it's kind of.
Sorry, I want to make it.
I do think it's kind of like this one, but deeper and a bit more full bodied. So it's kind of
there's a little bit of there's a touch of some other things in there too.
So yes, I've got that, and then lastly, I've got the half with the amazing coloured butt plug on the top.
Technicolor butt plug.
Yeah, with the butt plug on top, with a big stip on top of that.
He's doing some more of them, isn't he?
Yeah, John's thinking about doing another run of butt plugs.
Yes.
Cool.
It's all the rage these days. Butt plugs.
I'm going to buy a few of these. These are up with the Origin as far as good at. They're fucking outstanding. It's been really, really good.
Is it? It's not squonkable, is it?
Yeah, it's Squonker, yeah.
Oh, it is squonkable. I didn't know it got a, you got a BF pin on it.
Yeah. It's got a threaded BF pin, so you can put a little screw in it to stop it.
It's a nipple with a good deck. Is that fair?
Yeah.
I like that as an explanation. Actually, that works.
Yeah, it's like a nipple with a very, very good deck with a proper. It's like a proper undercoil.
I couldn't buy one. I don't.
It's brilliant.
But apart from that, I definitely.
It's worth. I mean, it's worth trying them. If they do come out, then it's definitely worth trying them because they're very, very good.
And I'll give it a go.
And in that, I've got that way around. Got Bad Mother Custard from Vape Kitchen.
Vape Kitchen.
So it's going down. I'm getting close. Getting close.
No, I'm out of sticky rice.
Oh yeah, I think they're doing some vanilla vapes, and it's not a lot of money.
Oh, I don't know. Oh, I've got a sauce. Joe still works for them.
Oh, that's handy.
Hoping to get a ball in.
So yeah, so I think that's about all I vaped on. So Rick, how's your week been? What are you vaping on? What did you have for lunch? And
I've had that super noodle thing, I reckon.
when was the last time that you unloaded the washer and put it out to dry or stuck it in the tumble dryer?
Right. How's my week been? Week's been good, busy, because Carly is on holiday, so me and Annie have been trying to keep up.
You give staff holidays?
Oh,
Listen.
hang on.
Listen to him,
No,
is it?
Carly who packs with us.
Yes, what I said. You give staff holidays.
Yeah, she's having a couple of weeks in Greece. Yeah. We do all holidays and everything if you work for me.
Sounds good.
I'll get to vaping in it. Right, when's the last time I unloaded the washer and hung it out?
Yeah.
Oh, you're going to make me look bad, Craig.
Exactly.
It's been a while, I must say. Because my wife looks after me quite well.
Well put.
My answer would have been very similar, Rick. Don't worry.
Yeah. And he takes care of all that. We got the kids' stuff, and I work very hard.
How long?
How long? Okay, probably
years?
probably about 6 months. I have done a lot. I did do a load not that long ago. Yeah,
I think mine slightly bit. I think mine's about 2 weeks. I think I did it 2 weeks ago.
Oh, you're properly domesticated, John.
I do it once a month. Amazing.
Did you put the apron on while you did it, though, John?
Yeah, obviously.
Good.
So I can keep the pegs in the front.
What did I have for lunch? I had Hunter's. It was all right. It was from Sainsbury's, so not as good as M&S, but it was a Hunter's turkey, had cabbage and sweet potato mash, and a sort of gravy in it. It was quite nice. Right, what am I vaping on? All right, I'm vaping on this week. I'll get this one out of the way. Goon, as usual, Voodoo Brew on the Rindor Rocks Mod box with a Vince's tip on top. I like Vince's tips, if anyone doesn't realise that. I actually got some today, so I'll show him in a bit.
Really good.
I was having an interesting chat with a guy in the vape shop and who's looking to get some stock, and I said to him, he said he's got these Watofo Vaporous and they don't sell very well, so I busted mine out again, and I'm going to say it because no one's really noticed this atomizer, and it's bloody good.
Yeah, that's what I've got on the Therion.
Yeah, so I've got this out, and I thought I'd get this out for the show and give that another plug. I know it's Watofo, but you know what? That can't be beaten for the price. Really is a good atty. Good deck, can't knock it in any way. So in that, I'm vaping on Nata as well.
And what's it? What? Sorry, just name the atomizer again. Good choice on the liquid, obviously.
Watofo Vaporous.
Vaporous.
It shows how important a good first impression is. Because the first set that they sent out to reviewers all had wobbly positive pins.
Right.
And it never quite took off after that, even though with that fixed, it's great.
It really surprises me because the guy was saying how he's got those atomizers with the mesh. And he says they're flying out, but this is sitting on the shelf not selling. But to me, in my mind, that vapes easily as well as a Goon does.
How is it?
How many people?
Has it got? Does it come with a BF as standard? But on bottom fed pin as standard.
Yeah,
I don't know actually. I've just got it on my Mac.
It does.
Yeah, it does. Yeah,
cool. Right, so I might be invested.
Okay, you can't but knock it if you like a cloudy vape like I do. A couple of fused Claptons in there. It's got a great deck. It's got clamps and it's got holes. You know, there's no bending the legs on the coils because you've got 2 center holes and 2 outside. So if you just layer them on the center ones, you don't have to bend it or anything. Plenty of airflow. It's great. Yeah, really good. And that's Nata on that. And finally, I'm giving this another plug, and that's the Conspiracy RDA on my InfoOhm Squonker, #1 Squonker. Oh, can't see it with the light.
They're nice, they are. That's Herbie McCubbin in it.
Yeah, Herbie McCubbin makes these, and yeah, it's great. It's basically the same as Nigel's one. It's a switch FET in with a single battery in a small boy box.
Lovely job.
Works really well. Low voltage cutoff. Not that I've ever got low enough for it to cut off, but the atomizer's great. I mean, sorry.
I've gone low enough on one of mine. Went down to 2.9 on one battery, but
yeah, and it cut off all right, did it?
And it cut off. Yeah, it whistles. Yeah. You can hear it when you hold it up. You kind of get this light whine off it. It's really funny.
Oh, cool. So yeah, I'm vaping on that, and in that I've got a mango juice that I'm vaping on that I made. I've got a mango cool recipe I'm working on, and that's it. Yeah, but this Atty, hang on, really good. I think I'm going to talk about it in a bit anyway. So anyway, news. Got any news?
I got some news. I got some news. I've got to grab my phone quickly. I just want to double check something. I just want to congratulate a friend of mine and sorry, I've just got. I want to just check I'm just fact checking. You fucking knob. That is not going to work. The fact check I'm doing. A lot of people used Vape Hype a few years ago. Until last year, Vape Hype stopped dealing, stopped selling liquids in the UK last year. Was it this year, Craig? This year? No,
it was.
No, it would have been. It was this year. So I bought some.
15. I bought. Yeah, got some DB liquids from him, so it's about 9 months ago.
About 9 months ago. Anyway, and Vape Pipe closed for business. I've known Josh for Josh was the owner of Vape Pipe. I've known him for about 2 years. Him and partner Craig, not his business partner, Craig, ran Vape Pipe, and they imported liquids from the America and other countries to the UK and sold them for the best price they could do. And we'd never got DB liquids or any of those liquids at that lower price in the UK before, and it was great to see. And he kind of changed him and a few others changed the way the market works, really. And I said, anyway, Josh has been a mate of mine for a couple of years, and every time I used to talk to him on Hangouts, he was always playing flight simulator games, but not flight simulator games that you and I would know, but flight simulator games where you fly a fucking airliner. I remember speaking to him and saying he was flying a 747 from Heathrow to Chicago, and I said, but not in real time. And he said, yeah. And I went, what the fuck? What are you doing that for? How long have you got left on the flight? And he said, oh, about 3 hours. How long have you been flying for? About 3 hours. And I just thought, you are a mentalist and a geek. But I just wanted to congratulate him because he's actually been training to be a commercial pilot for the last year or so, really. And he's going to start training with EasyJet shortly to become a pilot. And I just want to say congratulations, really, Josh. He's cracking, man. Really nice guy. He lives in Switzerland with him and his missus. And I just wanted to say a big shout out, really, to Josh. Congratulations on your career change. And everybody's right behind you because you're a fucking bloke.
Good stuff.
Lovely bloke, and I owe him a Coke, and he's from Wales.
He's from Wales. Yeah.
Is he?
He's from Wales, really, but he lives in Switzerland. Josh has one of the weirdest jobs. I don't know if I can. Yeah, it's fine. Josh, he's been doing it all the way through the time he was working for Vape Pipe. Josh is actually on the Olympic handball drug testing team. That's his job. That is what he does.
What, just to test people who play handball?
Yeah.
Fucking hell.
Wow.
Can I do a few other sports as well?
No, because there's too many people. You kind of think of these things and think, that can't be a full-time job. It is. Yeah.
What a way to make a living.
What a way to make a living, yeah. And so I remember he was in Rio and he was really not enjoying it. But yeah, it's a crazy job.
Piss in this. Yeah, piss in this.
What a way to make a living.
Yeah, it's wicked.
Hey!
I am on beer number 3, by the way, so I've only got one more to go.
Easy peasy.
You saw the joke.
I'm kind of suffering with a cold at the moment as well. I think Craig gave it to me, so I'm going to do what I can. Do people? This was just a question. I did a really a quick packing for holiday video. Another one. I'm going to do an all ready for holiday packing video. Should I do another one and stick it on the channel?
What for?
I don't know. Just to do Good boy, Richard.
The rules changed.
The answer is no, you shouldn't.
No.
Right.
If the rules have changed, I don't know.
I'll just do a.
I put my penguin in the hold and it didn't explode.
You put the penguin with the back? Yeah, that's just naughty.
It wasn't on purpose.
Oh, okay, that's fine. If it wasn't on purpose, not your fault.
It didn't fall out of the sky.
Lucky.
No batteries in hull, people.
If it's not pressurized, how can a fire break out?
What?
If it's not pressurized cabin, how can... The whole point of the hold is it's not pressurized. And that's why it's a problem.
Lithium batteries, if they're going off, need air to bang, do they?
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know if it's because it's a chemical reaction, isn't it? Oh, that's a good. Mooch is in chat. Let's see what Mooch says.
Just like the don't use your mobile phone in a petrol station thing.
No, I don't agree.
I'm sure I've seen Hollywood films where
planes have gone out of the sky because of the
I'm
light.
sure I've seen Hollywood films where people go in the hold of a plane and they're in there.
Mooch. I've got a great quick. So Mooch is in chat. Let's find out. We can do it live. Mooch, is it if it's a chemical reaction, thermal runaway, then it went into thermal runaway in the hold of a plane, an unpressurized hold in the plane. Will it carry on? Mooch?
On a simpler thing, why aren't we allowed to put them in our big bags?
I think it's because that you could cause a fire.
Because you can't pull them out of a mod and if they auto fire, can you?
John Malcolm just said in chat, surely it could explode perfectly fine. Fire might struggle, but explosions are okay.
I'm guessing either
Blow a hole in a plane with a penguin.
I'm still questioning whether a hold on a plane has got no air in it.
I mean, a penguin's got a sharp
There's a
beak.
your pet in it, so I think it's pressurised. I think it's pressurised because you can put your dog in there. Anyway.
Oh, see, we
went
from dead air.
Yeah, I don't know. Let's find out. I was going to go to.
Oh, Mooch says what? Hold on. Mooch says what was the question? The question was.
The question was if a lithium battery went into thermal runaway in the hold, would it go into thermal runaway, and could it cause an explosion in the hold? Really?
And also, I'm sure Mooch because he knows everything. He'll probably know if a pressurized hold has got air in it.
I think it has because you can put a cat or a dog in it. So
I'm sure I've seen Bruce Willis in the hold of a plane on a film
many times.
Yeah,
that's what Bruce. That's how Bruce gets everywhere. He goes in the hold. Yes, and yes, it could cause an explosion. And yeah, it is.
Well, my penguin didn't, so I'm always going to put one of those in there.
Anyway, don't put them in there.
Don't try that.
Don't try it. I'm going to kind of mold two bits that I put into one because I'm going to talk about salt Nick salt e-liquid. We've spoken about it before, but I'm going to do it again. You won't be able to see this because this is my amazingly crap camera. See, you can't see, but when I look at my own feed, it looks great. It's not. It's actually shit. I have used approximately that much e-liquid since I received this on Monday. That's how much liquid I've used. So probably about 5 mil.
So you find yourself vaping a lot less because it's stronger?
Yes.
It's that subconscious thing, isn't it? If you've got stronger juice, you just...
It's not even, it isn't even subconscious. You couldn't do it. As I kind of said to my darling wife, she said, what if you get used to it? I'm going to try and explain this. I'll try to explain this as easy as I can. I'm just trying to get the words correct. It's when people say it's like smoking a cigarette, it really, really is. Everything you know about throat hit has changed. It's like, the only way I can explain it, it's like, it's almost like watching us, actually. When we were watching chat, you were actually seeing us 5 seconds behind. And that's what it's like vaping in this stuff. There's a delay in the throat hit. It's there, but it's delayed. So you take a drag. So I'll take a drag now.
How salty is it? That's what we want. That's what we want to know.
You're such a dick because I just got to throw it on my nose. That was really painful.
I tell you what, vape it with your nose. That's your dare. That's your dare for the night.
You know, it won't bother me. I don't care. I can do that. Should I do that?
I don't know.
Okay, this is the drip tip this way round. I don't care. Oh, no, didn't go. Oh. Hold on.
It's cloudy, that little zipper thing.
It is little cloudy little. Fuck this. It's fuck. That was not a good idea. Don't do that.
Didn't
So
see
it's
that
like
in the
there's a
manual.
delay. Anyway, over here, it's like there's a delay. It's really, really, really smooth. And there's no throat hit at all. Craig's still laughing. It's like, don't do that. It's my nose, by the way. I don't care if I put the drip tip on my mouth. I'm not bothered. I've got a nose that looks like I've picked my fucking nose with my thumb. Don't worry about it. You do vape less because it's that question. You know, if somebody asks you how they'll know if they've vaped enough nicotine, and any sensible vapor will answer, "Don't worry, you'll fucking know." It's exactly the same thing. You just don't want to pick it up, so you don't. I've used that all day without any problem at all.
That's what I meant when I said about it being a subconscious. You subconsciously vape less because you're getting the nicotine your body craves.
Sorry. I'm sorry. I thought you meant it like you know how much nicotine in it.
No,
exactly. No, you kind of already know. So you have a couple of drags and you think that'll do, and then you don't pick it up again. You just don't touch it. And when we had, we were really, really busy on Tuesday when we did the Nata launch, and that's all I used all day, and I found I wasn't picking up anywhere near enough. Of all this bullshit and blab, the thing is, we need this in the UK. Fuck the 20 milligram limit. Need 45 milligram in the UK because this shit will get people off smoking, and not only that, it will drop the price massively for vapors. It really, really will.
Why?
Because you'll use so much less liquid. That's a month. That is easily a month's supply of liquid.
that's not a selling point for vendors to stock it, then, is it?
It absolutely isn't. But if we're talking about stopping people smoking, then this is what will do it. It really will. It just will. Because you can put it in stuff that's crap. I'm pretty sure that Zippo thing. I used it with 18 milligram. It's okay. I used it with 18 milligram normal free-base nicotine, and it's all right. But it comes into a level of it on its own as soon as you put nic salt in it. It's just it'll last you all day without any problem at all. Battery life, no problem. The amount of the tank's 1.4 mil, and I couldn't vape the whole lot in a day. Between 9 and 5 would be fine. Wouldn't need to take any nic with me to work.
Sounds like a winner. I mean, the only time I've only tried it once. I think I tried something like an 18 milligram juice with nic salts, and it was like vaping a 3, 4, 5 milligram normal juice.
Oh, and I don't. This could just be me. I don't know, but you know, I generally go up in nic, or use a more powerful mod if I'm drinking, because I find I want to, like when I used to smoke, I'd buy a pack of fags before I went down the pub, even if I had another pack of fags, because I knew I was going to smoke more, and I know I'm going to vape more if I'm drinking. With the nic salt, it doesn't really matter. It's fun.
I think there's some legs in that if we can get it over it. What's the laws on nic salts over here?
You can get it, but you can import it from the US. So you can buy it from Gaslight Vapor and other people. I only say Gaslight because I bought it from Gaslight. You can import it to mix yourself. You
can import nic salt, can you?
Yeah, you can import 75 milligram, and they do 100 as well.
And why is there no limit on this as opposed to diluted in PG or VG?
Because you can import, can't you? We just can't buy it here.
Oh, okay. So no one can import it and sell it then?
No, you can't sell it. No.
Okay.
Yeah, no, it's the bullshit. Yeah, exactly. It's just the fucking crazy law bollocks of the whole thing. So yeah.
So all right, just cleared me up on this then. Okay, if I imported some nic salt and I diluted it in PG, what would be the difference between that and nicotine in PG?
What would be there's no difference in personal use. You just can't sell it.
No,
I'm just
you
trying to
mean-
work
you
out
mean
why
flavor-wise or
Nick
flavor?
salts are less throaty than.
Oh, let's through it. It's easy. It's because of benzoic acid. What happens is, right? Fucking hell.
Geeky time.
Let's see how some science goes down on the old. On
Jesus.
the old ideal
They
ocean.
love that. They love that.
Right.
Science,
So-
John, the science man.
So,
Need him in the neuron.
what happens is the nicotine that we all vape generally is feed-based nicotine, and well, it's extracted from generally tobacco leaves. Craig's like they do shit in the background. You want a guitar, really, generally. When we use free-based nicotine, which is what we use now, you extract everything. You just leave the nicotine, and then we vape it and we get that throat hit. When you use nicotine salts, which people confuse something, nicotine is scientifically a salt, and you put it in PG or VG or whatever. When you vape it, it's not readily absorbed by the body. Actually, you could inhale it and blow it out, and it wouldn't be absorbed. So what you actually have to do is add benzoic acid, which brings down the absorption or brings up the absorption level. So when you take a drag, there would be no hit because it's not because you're not readily absorbing it. The benzoic acid helps your body absorb it, or the membrane in the back of the throat absorb it, and that's why you get that delayed reaction, and then hit. That's it. Really.
Right, cool.
Amazing.
So just one more thing on the Nick salts then. Can you buy 100%? Is it? Can you say you can get 100% nicotine?
Yes.
100% nicotine, or is it? Whereas in 75 milligram, like you said, that would be 7.5%.
Yeah, but it's not. Yes, exactly. But you just made the point exactly in the right way. It's like saying it's like saying 100 proof vodka. That doesn't actually mean 100% because there's no such thing as 100% nicotine. So it's like 100% proof. So you just call it 100. Yeah, you call it 100 Nick, and as you just quite rightly said, it's actually 0.75, and that would make it 0.1. So that's what it is.
Yeah. So if you bought 10 grams of 100 milligram Nick salts, you could chuck it. You could mix it.
Yeah.
10%? No, what am I talking about?
Yeah,
I don't know.
It would be 10 milligrams. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, you wouldn't feel that. I mean, I'd go up, but it makes all these. What I was trying to kind of prove was the fact that all these closed systems sing when you put salt nick in them, and they're shit when you don't. That's just
No,
true.
I'm just going to stab myself in the knee. Oh.
And you can't do shit. These salt nick. We get told over and over again that the Juul's brilliant. The Juul is not brilliant. It is actually a shit old tech. Sorry, it is shit.
I've got 2 forks
with salt.
I've got 2 forks and I've got 2 knees. 2 forks.
Right, I'm going to stop talking. Right, fuck that. I'm just going to be a quick teaser to say that we've got another. There's another range to just add Nick very shortly. There will be more information shortly, but we have got a new range with at least at least a few flavors, and I can't tell you where from, but I will do shortly. That was all. Craig, have you got any news? Or are we going to go on to Rick?
No.
We skipped Richard. Yeah, we skipped Richard.
Cool. Yeah, I know. He's not. Whoa. He's coming up after you. Don't.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Still to come. iOS Hall of Fame.
Control
of the week.
I'm reading the script.
Oh, right, you are. Sorry, I'm looking at hand checks.
Rick.
Me. Right, okay. I didn't talk about the conspiracy RDA because it hasn't been available. Richard, you got one, didn't you? And Dean and Todd got one. No, Todd didn't get one. He didn't want one.
Sorry.
It hasn't been available. But I just want to sing its praises, for a slightly restricted throat hit. Not restricted compared throat hit, lung hit. Compared to a goon, it's still got bags of airflow, and it's a great atty. And I was lucky to get a prototype, and it's now available. They've actually got it on Fusion Haze.
The black one looks really pretty.
Yeah, I've got one coming.
Yeah,
so
really nice.
I want to sing its praises because I honestly can't fault it. It's great, really good, tasty, airy, good build deck, silver-plated deck on it. I don't think that makes any difference to conducting electricity particularly, but stays clean.
No.
So yeah, that's available on fusionhaze.co.uk for £50, I think. And worth it. Yeah.
Has anybody banned Adele from chat? I don't know.
Yeah, so I've put her in time.
Let's leave her in there.
Oh, good.
Oh,
What's she
hello. I really hope she put hello first of all.
I think she's in the bar.
Fucking hell, that would have been a letdown, wouldn't it? Oh, you've bored her. She can't say hello. No.
Oh,
So
dear.
has it got a squonk? Has it got a squonk pin on it then?
Yep.
Yes.
So pretty much, if you're thinking of getting one of those recoil rebels, get one of them instead.
What's the what? Yeah,
I haven't had the Rebel, but I know if you want to support someone in the UK who makes this, I think it's made in the UK here, isn't it? Or it's assembled and designed here.
It's yeah, kind of.
Has anybody got the RRP on that and the other one and the whatever?
RRP on this is $49.99.
Oh, okay. So it's a little bit more. So it's still mid-range, we're not up through the roof. Okay.
Yeah, but it's just really good. I'd say it's a goon with a.
Oh, well,
Better
not knocking the price. I was just kind of trying to work it out.
Oh,
Yeah, I like the fact it doesn't come assembled. I like the fact it doesn't come assembled, so you have to put it together. There's only half a dozen parts, and you can choose your pin when you put it together, whether you want it to be on a mech or on a Squonker. I see that as a plus. You get to know how an atomizer works if you don't already.
I don't know why. I missed my alarm because the bloody my bloody alarm didn't go off. We missed it. We've got to go back quickly. Sorry, the alarm fucked up. We should be. What's Kelvin up to?
Hey!
Hold on. We're gonna go.
What's Kelvin?
I was expecting trolls.
Oh, they got him expecting trolls. What's he up to?
Can we play?
Hang on, there's a bit of dead air here. That's not like
A little
Kelvin.
bit of dead air. Come on, Kelvin. Come on, son.
He's not
Come
on.
on. Say something.
Go on, Kelvin.
You can do it.
You can do it.
Come on. We just want one sound bite and then we'll leave you alone. Come on, Kelvin.
It is. Well,
Perfect. That's what Kelvin's up to this week.
There we go.
Anyway.
Here, Kel.
Right, back to the
Cheers,
news.
Kelv.
Cheers, Kelvin.
PM me, Kelvin. Need a word.
If you're watching this show, what are you doing? Kelvin Guy is live right now.
It'll be available on catch up. You're not missing out.
Okay, I saw something else this week. I'd say it's not even new news. It's old. It's a couple of months old. But I saw a good article on the Register saying the UK's government war on e-cigs is over. I just found it a pretty interesting read.
E-cigs are over.
UK government's war on e-cigs is over.
Oh, okay. That's
And it just actually says about the it points out that the government is taking vaping seriously and they actually seem to be recognising that it's not tobacco and it's safer and it should be promoted. And there's a couple of documents that were linked in that article. One of them was from the Department of Health called the Tobacco Control Plan. And
really oh, fuck it. I'll just do what I normally do. It's just say fuck it and do it anyway.
Do it.
Never, ever fucking trust them. Ever in a million years. They are utter fucking cunts. They have just cut. Every single time you turn around, they'll cut something else. They've literally yesterday, they cut IVF for Cambridgeshire. The funding for IVF from Cambridgeshire to save themselves, I think it was £900,000 a year, when they can't get fat people to stop fucking eating Mars bars and take absolutely shit all notice of anything that they say they're on your side. They are not. they are lining up for something else. It is
Well,
complete.
they've gone to the trouble of making this document anyway, whether it's bollocks or not. But it says about there's opportunities in the future when we come out of the EU to look at the rules again and assess the TPD as it stands, and if it hasn't got health benefits to us, i.e., they're slamming e-cigs when they are an effective cessation tool, they may change things in the future.
Well, no, so they're gonna, the trouble I've got with it is that they're just it falls back to what I've said time and time again, that the government were never your enemy in this case. They weren't. Big tobacco are, and they're going to line up who's going to line the coffers, and they're going to line up big tobacco. Though I think, as I said last week on the show, they've been kept on the back foot, and I don't see them coming forward. But I don't know if the government wouldn't be aware of that. But they are snidey, shitty cunts.
There are,
really
granted, there are snidey, shitty cunts in there, but this.
I'm saying 99.9%.
But this was the Department of Health. If that isn't the elected government.
Yes, the main man in charge of the Department of Health is Jeremy Hunt, whose name rhymes with cunt, and he definitely is one of the biggest cunts who's allowed to breathe.
Just very quickly on that, it relies upon two things, that whole thing, which is, first of all, it relies on knowing when we're actually going to leave. And if you watched the House of Commons today, you would have known that actually we may have multiple Brexits, which is a possibility. And the second thing is it also depends upon what they're putting through in terms of their reform bill, which at the moment is, so if you want to know just how snidey people are, go and watch Keir Starmer today.
People have started putting in their guesses for what's in Craig's drawers.
Fuck off. Hester's got
we've got
enough
to
waiting for you, by the way, just in case you weren't sure.
Hester, where?
Hester, naughty girls.
Oh, here we go.
Oh, fucking win. Copy, paste.
Hester, where's Hester with
There's
the
some amazing stuff on there. I was on last week.
She's gone. So I feel like I'm pissing all over Rick's news. I wasn't. I just
fuck it.
I just do
What is she doing?
Jeremy Hunt's a cunt.
Jeremy Hunt is a cunt. He is.
I just think they're lying to you.
He is.
And
but I am going to say we've got it pretty good here, and reiterate what we've said in the past. Vaping's going nowhere here. It can only, if there's any chance, it can get a bit better when they realise we're chucking away 6 million 10 mil bottles a day.
Yeah, I totally agree.
They may change things in the future.
Exactly what I said last week as well. Is that the point is that this is a cottage industry which has done incredible things in the UK, and the
This is definitely a cottage industry.
Spending money, and well, it was, but we need to get back to those things. As I said last week, Craig, when it comes to innovation and making fucking atomizers, which we seem to have completely just stopped doing in the UK. Whatever. But today I take any fucking notice of government bullshit and papers, especially, as I will say, £900,000 in.
Which one are you watching, Craig?
In Cambridge.
There's no fucking way this one's from the UK, I can tell you that.
And that's the cottage industry as well. Sorry, Rick.
Have we had a nice link or something?
Well, we've had a few nice links there.
You didn't miss anything. Just carry on.
Well, that's all the news I've got.
I'll do some.
That's it for me. Why don't you do something? Why don't you do something?
Sit up and everything. Well, I can still read straight. Okay, so
Layla.
This was the Layla. Oh, I didn't click on.
Layla was here last week.
No, it's not the same one. I don't think she's out of A&E.
I don't think they're real.
Oh, they're real. You can't CGI that.
I didn't even get to the link before you deleted it, so I can't see it.
My bad. Okay, so this was
Scarlett's here now.
Scarlett's
Fucking hell, Scarlett's
here.
Right.
This was the first week of the Ideal Home Show Hall of Fame.
Hey!
The new thing that we've been doing on the group. It's a group participation thing. This week was RTAs, and you guys voted in your droves to narrow down. Oh, here we go. Narrow down to a short list of three atomizers were on top. There was a short list of 6, but unfortunately, the Squape RS, the Squape RS got 7 votes. Serpent Mini got 15 votes, and the Ubertoot got 4 votes, which left us with a top 3 of K-Fun Light with 114 votes, Cleto with 40, and the Rose V3 with 29 votes. Ooh. So from that top 3, we need to pick a Hall of Fame. Should we start with the Cleto since it's on our screens?
Yeah.
Cleto.
Yeah.
Now, this could appear multiple times, and it's very, very popular in the group, isn't it?
Absolutely.
Yeah, rightly so. I mean, it's an entry level, dead flavoursome.
I think if we'd have done a sub tank week this week, this would have won by miles.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Which is quite weird in a way, because if you went to a different group, I don't know, Mech Addiction or one of these other groups, I don't think it would have even polled. Like,
no,
for some reason, a certain
I think that's
group
fantastic, though. I think that's really good. The actual top 3 was really interesting, as you say, because that got there to number 2 because of the diverse people we have on the Ideal Home Show group. If you're not a member of the Ideal Home Show group, if you go to www.facebook.com and type in the Ideal Home Show, you'll find the group.
But it is an absolute cracker. This.
Yeah.
It is. It works, doesn't it? In my mind, it's the best low budget tank there is.
It was just before the 2 mil rule as well, wasn't it?
I know 3 seasoned vapors who use that as a constant. One of them being Mr. Scott Bonner.
Yeah.
Simon, my boss, uses Cleto all the time with the 0.4. And Graham, who is the area manager for Simon, uses the Cleto. And these are people who've done rebuildables and blah, 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 blah. And they go back to that all the time.
But not just the actual whole atomizer, but the stock coils. They're used in the EXO now as well. They're a great stock coil that'll last you a week of 45 watt vaping. Yeah, so I think worthy in the top 3.
Moving along, the Rose V3. Should we pull that one up? Eden Mods Rose V3. It's kind of, I used to always have this thing on the review channel that I always sort of got excited about the V2 of anything, because it was always an improvement.
The V2 was, and I think I had a message from someone in the week, one of our viewers, who'd asked me about the V3 and why none of us owned the V3. And I can answer it really easily with with a 2-word answer, which is spring wire.
Yeah, that was the thing that put me off big time about it, is that. I know it's got fans. I absolutely do. I just feel the spring wire.
When it first came out, there was sort of stories of, you need a replacement one, you need spares. They're snapping, and I think didn't they have a first batch that wasn't as good as the rest after that?
No, I will say that they did it the correct way, because their prototype had a different kind of spring, had a different type of wire in it, and they realised very quickly that they were getting a reaction from the condensation on that wire, and it corroded. But they weren't actually sold. They were sold with the correct wire in them. But the spring wire even being there, I'm really sorry, is the admission of a design flaw. It just
they should have. To my mind, they should have used O-rings for the friction, not a spring wire.
Which is what they did in the end.
Did they? How good.
Which and like I was going to say, the V2 usually is great, but the V3, they really perfected the deck on the V3, in my opinion. Mm-hmm. It sort of did evolve through the 3, and the third Rose does have a really nice looking deck. It works very well. I've had a go on it, and it's a really solid RTA. I totally understand why it has. It's quite a strong following.
Oh, and it's UK and it's UK made. It's good to see.
UK made. It's quite good looking.
Coming out of the UK.
It would have been excellent to see a V4 this year. It would have. It really would have as well.
Yeah.
I think, yeah, I think. You know,
So
being
if we just
completely honest, I think it was a step back. Yeah.
if we just pull up the K-Fun, I think we all know. I mean, the group says everything you need to know. 114 votes out of 150 or whatever it was.
One of them.
The amount of nominations alone was
I think there's a reason. Absolutely, the K-Fun came at just this pivotal moment within vaping. Like, if you were into vaping, as we all are, the K-Fun came along when cotton first was a thing. Cotton was not a thing, where everyone was using silica, and we were all using silica in the K-Fun Lite and the K-Fun 3.1. And then cotton became a thing, and cotton worked in the K-Fun, and its deck has been repeated over and over and over again, even to the Vapor Nano, which I show all the time, is
got the
it
Lemo,
wouldn't exist
the Lemo.
without the K-Fun. The Lemo. People kept voting.
That's the Lemo. Yeah.
Did you notice as well the things that didn't make the list? But that were voted for and people were mentioning, like the Lemo and things like that, they don't exist without that atomizer. They don't exist.
But also, none of them managed to replicate the draw.
Yeah, no, it's fantastic. But I will say, it ended at the K-Fun Lite, because by the plus they'd stopped putting in they'd stopped beveling the air intake and the baffle.
Yeah, that was the problem, was the little screw on the bottom where the airflow goes.
Yeah,
I'm going to zoom in, and that was the problem, because when air passes over it, it kind of creates little turbulence, so you end up with a bit of a whistle off it.
Yeah,
so a lot of
people,
they either go for this or they go for the 3.1 or the 3.1 ES and things like that.
I'd love to see a re-release.
It's all in that.
I'd love to have seen. I think they should re-release the K-Fun Lite in 2mm.
I just think for now, the thick juices that the majority of people are using wouldn't go through it.
No,
it was always a 50-50 or more or higher PG Atty in my mind. But
I had in this earlier. I had Ruby's. I had one of Ruby's juices in this one earlier, and vaped it till it was dry. You can't chain it. That's the thing you can't do. You just can't chain it, but it will keep up, because you're not firing it like some of the other ones. You know, people got like the Lemo and the Billow, and they got some of these other ones that followed, and they throw much more aggressive coils in it, and then they go, oh, it's not wicking. But with the K-Fun, you went for between 1.1, 1.5. That tended to be kind of like that sweet spot that everybody kind of aimed for. So you weren't driving it really, really hard, and I think things were a little bit less efficient as well. You couldn't overdrive it, because the K-Fun was from a time when regulated mods, I don't know how common regulated mods were at that point when that came out. Most of them were regulated to the voltage of being 4 volts, 4.5 volts and things like that.
The highest mods, when that came out, the mods were the regulated. There's only a couple. Now we're like 15-watt mods.
Yeah, 12 watt. I used to have mine on.
So you were never going to... Yeah, you were never going to drive it hard, you see. So by the time it came out.
Chat saying they use 70-30 in there constantly.
I'm going to propose something for this particular round, because of the way it's gone. I think we should put the Cleto and the K-Fun in the Hall of Fame.
I think the Cleto can win on its own. I will say, I think we should.
I think because we know it would win the sub-tank hands down, and because we all think it is a Hall of Famer, I think K-Fun and Cleto should just go straight in.
Okay.
I think it kills two birds with one stone. It means you don't have to do that.
I think it'll make the sub-tank round more interesting.
Okay.
Yeah, that suits me. I think it deserves to be there. Yeah.
I am on beer.
Just the sub-tank round will get won by that.
Just say that, Darryl.
Well, that opens it up for the likes of that. And also, I just think
the super tank will win it. Yeah.
And to make clear, it doesn't mean the Rose V3 will never be in the Hall of Fame. They didn't get in this time, but it can all be voted for again.
We can't duplicate the winners.
We're going round and round. We're not doing this every week for all year, but we are going to do a long run of this. So RTAs will come back up again, and there'll be a whole set of nominations. And everyone that voted for the K-Fun Lite, that's 114 swing votes. It'd be very interesting to see what they select next time. So it'd be a completely different kettle of fish next time.
Yeah.
So there we go.
Oh, just very briefly on that whole thing. Just I wrote a note down very quickly earlier on the thing, the article that you got, which was, if the law decides that they are not going to attack vaping anymore in the UK, then it means you don't have to give any money to the NNA.
Yeah, that's a winner. Not that I ever did.
This coming week, the Hall of Fame will be RDAs.
There's only one thing I give to the NNA, Craig, and that's one of those, mate.
Just the
Hey, just the one. Oh, John missed all that. You would have been into that.
So RDAs next week, and we'll keep it going, and we'll do something.
That's going to be a tough one, isn't it? I think with RDAs being more popular now than ever, that's going to be
split. Yeah.
Oh, there's just so many with Squonker now, and yeah.
And yes, and I think things just to quickly mention something like that. Things like the Uber 2, there is an issue there with the Hall of Fame and the voting system, because not enough people have had a go on it.
This was why I said I don't know that polls are the right way to go, because it's how many people have got their hands on these atomizers doesn't mean that it's better.
I think we'll do a round like this, and we'll tweak it after that to adjust to sort of handicap that notion.
To be honest, I think
and Uber 2.
It's one of these. I think it's one of these things where people are going, okay, well, what's the best one? No. Well, it doesn't. I mean, if I was going to put the case forward, just briefly, if I was going to put the case forward for the Uber 2,
go for it. I'm going to give you the opposite because I promise.
No tank has created the same level of hype that thing has, which is impressive in itself.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah.
Can I give you the opposing
it's very
view?
good.
Okay, I'll give you the opposing view, which is the V2 is the V1. Right? They're exactly the same, basically.
With different threading, but yeah.
With different threading, but they're basically exactly the same. I would also say that unlike almost any other atomizer ever made, the V2, the QC is shit.
Yes.
Absolute dog shit. And some of them whistled and didn't work properly, and had crunchy threads, which is fucking ludicrous for the money. And the hype was the first time, if you ever, anybody who understands marketing, but let me, anyone who understands marketing will understand what a genius the chap was. Peter, isn't it? Am I correct? Craig?
Yeah.
Peter.
I think it's Pete. Yeah.
Pete, who did the episode, strangled his own market to cause what actually happened, which was the hype. There was also, but I will say, if anybody kicks off in chat, I understand that Pete did there was a bereavement in the family right in the middle of it as well. So I'm not knocking that. I'm not mocking that and knocking that at all. But we're talking way down the line when he was actually standing there and literally crushing the people getting there. But if you are going to make 100 atomizers in 6 months, they need to be fucking bang on.
The first batch were absolutely spot on, but it kind of raises this question as well about what
releasing the V2 where they're shit. You can't be. That's just unforgivable.
Yeah, the V1 would get in if you do it like the K-Fun Lite versus the K-Fun Lite Plus.
Yeah, we'll put that.
K-Fun Lite. Yeah.
Well,
yeah.
The 4, sorry.
Yeah.
Is that the K-Fun 4?
No. Yeah, you can't do that. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Totally.
Exactly. So.
Opened a can of worms there, didn't I? but anyway.
No, because I think this raises an important point, which is the idea behind the Hall of Fame, which is that sometimes it doesn't. It's this subjective thing, which is that I don't think it's sometimes the very best vape. I don't think it's sometimes.
I don't think
it's all of these strange things that came off it. It can be. Let's just take the velocity, for instance. I'm not a huge fan of the velocity because it doesn't suit my style of vaping, but it has something which makes it something that would be a contender, which was what it did for driving everything forward.
Totally agree. Absolutely.
Yeah, but then you can say, okay, well, I've got the Tobe, and the Tobe wasn't a great vape, and you used to have to mod it immediately when you got it and take those tabs off it and saw the tabs off. But it would be something that would go in because of its place in bringing 3-post drippers into in, you know,
For me,
and bringing them into the mass market.
For me,
a
it's
lot.
exactly like the Boxing Hall of Fame, where you've got someone like Arturo Gatti, who wasn't a great boxer, but his cultural significance, you know, the people he fought, the fights he had, make him a Hall of Famer because of his significance as a boxer.
The hype made him a Hall of Famer, which is the point we're trying to make, which is not just about
it's weirdly that actually argues in the case of
Arturo Gatti would struggle against all modern welterweights.
But this is why I'm on the side of, I know exactly what Rick just said, which is against the polling, the way we're going to poll at the moment methods, it actually works because it is down to the fragility of this. Almost, you have to have a sprinkling of bollocks, because the sprinkling of bollocks is what makes it something. The Ubertoot 1, absolutely, is a Hall of Famer. If you add the 2, you're adding a little bit of piss, just a touch of piss.
I mean, if we're going for things that have revolutionised vaping, then definitely the K-Fun Light needs to go on there.
Absolutely,
they're both in. They're both going in.
Maybe Cleto, maybe, because I think the stock coils are great.
It did. The Cleto did that thing where it changed the fact that stock coils had to be up to standard.
Yeah. And the velocity should be the winner next week on RDAs, because that's.
Well, we'll see.
We'll see what people say.
They've got to make everybody's got to make their case, which is a good bit about it, because I'm sure when you go through RDAs, there are a hell of a lot of interesting ones. The Tobe, the Magma, you got all these other ones that were all around. Snapdragon.
Well, I just hope the people who do the poll vote for the right reason. That it's
we're not
just
asking
because it is actually worthy of being there.
Yeah, we're not literally just asking what's your favourite RDA right this minute.
I will just say that Mark just said in chat, never mind the fact that the sub-ohm tank is into the Hall of Fame in the RTA.
No, there is no categories in the Hall of Fame.
It's just the Hall of Fame. And the
Cleto would have got in anyway, so let's save a week.
Yeah, I totally agree.
And we just say now that the first vape reviewer to go into the Hall of Fame should be Scott.
and we are doing that round at some point, because we want to, just in the same way that Rocky Balboa, who isn't a real person, is in the Boxing Hall of Fame.
Yeah,
we want to have some diversity in there. So
Kelvin's
a definite candidate.
He should be in there for the potato reviewer.
Come on, we have him on our show.
One more bit of news from me. I'm going to talk over you. One more bit of news from Rick. Can you pull up the pics for the Cthulhu M RDA? Is that no.
You haven't got images for it.
Oh, 2 people have voted for Vic.
Who's that?
I haven't got pictures for that. Or is it MRDA?
MRDA, that's right.
Yeah, wouldn't that be good if Richard didn't make it in as the first?
Well, no, I wouldn't. No, but I wouldn't.
Oh, I'd feel a bit bad for you now.
No, I'm too up and coming.
Oh, okay.
There we go.
I haven't reached the world level yet.
It's a side jobby.
Fighting for the northern area.
There's been a few that have tried it.
Okay, so this is the Cthulhu MRDA, mouth to lung RDA. I think this is what it looks like. This is not out yet.
Have we got a deck shot?
Now, I think we do have one more. I think. Now then,
okay.
I think the deck, they're onto something. But if you look at the airflow at the top,
no, it's just going to go in, along, up, miss the coil.
But how much air is that?
I don't know if it will miss the coil. If you look straight through that airflow, there looks like there's a bit more.
There's a block on it.
Like a block underneath.
If you look through the drip tip, you can see what they're doing.
It will go to there, will it?
But that's not what the point. They should be trying to restrict the air. They should be restricting the air in, not the air out.
It looks like it turns to me. I think there's 2 plates. There's one on.
It will turn. Look, you can see there's holes there underneath. Look, so you can turn it off.
It's The mouth to lung RDA thing is
Interesting to see, definitely.
It's the thing, isn't it? I mean, it would be nice to for someone to nail down, and I'm glad that someone's trying it.
I will say I've got to be careful because Hellfire have nailed it in the past with other. They just have. There's only one company that I can think of who do mouth to lung, and that is Hellfire.
I just don't see, and I've never been a big fan of air coming down from the top.
No,
I don't see why they didn't put air holes in the side, like we know works.
Have you had a go on the UFO?
No.
Rick? That's a mouth to lung by Hellfire, which is, I mean, not legendary, really.
I mean, that's the only other one I've seen that's got like a side.
Offset. Yeah. What is that Richard gave that? He Mr. Artisan himself. What is it? I can't remember.
He did. That is the Monad by Extra Mile Vape.
Monad.
Yeah, and it's very.
That's a mesh.
Yeah, I mean that's the airflow. Just God, Jim, go on, zoom in. It'll zoom in eventually.
Oh,
that's the airflow there.
Tight.
That's the airflow. Tight. That's the airflow. So, it's very nice.
I mean, we still don't understand air dynamics and stuff, do we? So maybe the air will go down there and hit the coil and give you flavour.
The one I've had that was top down was the Sapor, the Watofo Sapor RDA.
Yeah.
And even when the holes were as big as they looked on, say, a goon or a tugboat, it did feel more restricted because it was going. There was something about it that did give it a feel of being more restricted. Because it wasn't, I guess it just wasn't as smooth. I don't know. Because
I suppose the thing it would be nice to understand is if airflow goes in the top, and this.
Can I just give you an update
in the?
Just so we don't talk in a circle, because Mark has just said that there is actually side air as well.
Oh, right, okay.
Yeah, there is. Yeah. It's got something that looks a little bit like the Drifter, but just on the. Fucking hell! Fine, now I can't remember what the fuck.
Maybe you can close the whole top thing off. Maybe you can close the whole top thing off.
I think maybe you can close the whole top thing. And use
the best one of the lot.
He's probably got it.
The best one of the whole lot, the best one of the lot that I can remember that did top-down airflow was probably the Aeolus V1.
Yes, yeah.
That by far and away, that was the best one, and then they fucked it.
Fuck off! Quinn's in fucking chat now. She wants to show her fan to the
girl.
It's the same website every time. I'm going to write a strongly worded letter.
I'm going to.
Good, thanks. We don't want to see your fannies. Jesus.
Well, I do, but I'm busy.
I'm busy, exactly. Sorry, we do want to see your fannies, but we're busy.
So
you're right.
Someone said we should do a Hall of Shame as well as a Hall of Fame.
I think maybe we could do that for the end. We'll do a Hall of Shame, maybe. Just do one winner of the Hall of Shame.
So, I don't know whether we should publicly mock and slate things. Should we?
No, I suppose not.
Oh, no, I'll have a few beers. I'll mock them. I don't want it. It's fine.
Yeah, they'll come on.
We'll have a bit where I go, I shouldn't say it. I will. And then I'll just say it.
So anyway, that's that. I'm going to keep tabs on it. I don't know if I've got one coming up. Probably not, because they've got a shady bat record. But yeah, I think we'll keep an eye on it because mouth to lung RDAs are thin on the ground, so we'll keep an eye on it.
Yeah, could be good. Should be good. The Gaia was really good. Hopefully, it's as good as that.
I think we're going to troll of the week now.
Odd showcase.
Oh, I thought we were you first. I thought we were.
Am I first?
I think you're first, troll of the week.
You haven't finished your news.
No, yeah, I'm going to clip it.
Oh no, you don't have to clip it.
We've got a lot to do.
Okay.
So, shall I do troll then?
Troll of the week.
Are you all right to pull the link up for it to troll of the week?
Yeah,
it's actually on a website.
I've got half a beer left. I reckon I'm down it at the end. I want to win my prize.
Yeah, plenty of time. I've still got about a litre left.
Lightweight.
I got my mum coming down for the weekend. I need to get some.
Okay, so apparently, according to 9gag, this is the funniest troll SMS situation ever. What's happened here is someone's attempted to just randomly text a random mobile phone number. And the guy in grey is that guy, and the guy in blue is the guy receiving a random text message from a stranger. So, okay. So, John, do you want to do one, and I'll do?
Okay. Do you want me to do grey and you do blue?
grey.
Okay, I'll do it. It's me.
It starts with.
Oh, well, sorry. Hey, I'm outside.
Who?
It's me. Did you lose my number?
Yes, new phone.
No, it's John. How do you spell your last name? It's not in my contact info.
John who?
You answer my question first. You still there?
Taco.
Thanks.
You probably have the wrong number, I'm guessing.
Maybe. Who is
It's
this?
Mr. Taco. You texted me, John. Silly question.
All right, just making sure. I texted this number randomly. I didn't think I'd actually get a response. So actually, who is this?
For all I know, you're the rat, Steve Buscemi.
Seriously, I'm just curious. We live in the same area, so I might know you. You live in Millborough. I live in Atherton.
I'm the sound guy with the boom mic.
All right then. You have earned my respect.
At this point, hang on. It goes to another level. At this point, the guy in blue who received the message, he decided to try and find the number, and he Googled it. Obviously, that didn't work. But the guy had actually made his mobile phone number, or left his mobile phone number, searchable on Facebook. So the guy in blue found out who actually was the guy in grey. So it goes on. Thanks, Max.
Whoa. Honestly, how? Tell me. How? You know, my name, please.
Magic.
Of course. Did you reverse search my phone number?
You can't reverse look up that someone is a Democrat.
I'm not a Democrat.
Keep telling yourself that.
I will. I have no opinion on politics. I don't identify with any party. Now, can you please tell me?
Why? You texted me. One does simply not text Mr. Taco.
I know. I don't know who you are. I randomly texted this number, not knowing I would get a response. You seem to know a considerate amount of information about me, and I know nothing about me. About you. Just tell me, do I know you?
I don't know, lol.
Oh, at least you know your memes.
All right, Max, time for bed. School tomorrow, right? Remember to eat a hearty breakfast.
It's only 10, and I don't know who you are or how you know me. Okay, then.
What if I told you we don't know you? We know Shadow. Shadow is Max's dog, by the
way. That's pretty good.
Jesus.
And then, it ends with a series of memes. Mark Todd in chat said, "Bring back Heat Flux."
Yeah.
That was
Just
trolling.
Tell me who you are or where you go to school.
I'm going to be searching everyone's mobile phone numbers on Facebook now. I didn't even know that was a thing.
There was a couple of if you're really, really bored at work, there's a really quite funny thing to do, which is use your own phone book for this, which is just send anyone in your phone book something like, no, don't worry. Just give me 3 grams. It's Friday after all. Just send that to anyone in your phone book. It's really worth it. I've done it a few times. And trying to explain it as a joke takes a while, but it's definitely worth it. It's really, really good.
So, mod showcase.
That time of week.
Whoa, fuck.
Is it that time of week again? Oh, there we go.
That really hurt with headphones on.
It's that time of week again. Right, mod showcase of the week. I've always shown it.
Sounds like it's on. Sounds like it's on heroin. After to John doing it really loud and quick. It's like,
look, look. Hey!
oh, it's that.
Recognise that.
He's at it again. He's at it again. Our friend and lovely fella, Mr. Scott Bonner, made a mod, and I thought I'd show it off. Always show his mods off. He's doing some great stuff. His own blocks, his own mods. It's lovely. Really nice.
It's very nice, that is. Love that blue he's using on that.
It's really good, isn't it? Yeah, I'm lucky enough. I've got a block here that he sent me, and I'm going to make probably something the same as that, to be honest. But no, that's it's just tidy, innit?
That's lovely.
Does what it's got to do.
Yeah.
What more can I say? Some lovely British handmade mods coming out now. Why would you want
another one,
else?
hasn't he? Yeah, he's done another one, hasn't he, as well? There's
He put another one on tonight, but I haven't got it.
Yeah. Oh,
Let me
really
link
nice.
it on. Let me go to
Really nice.
Facebook.
Okay, look for it.
He put it on the showcase earlier. Let's go to showcase because I saw he put it, and I didn't have a chance to get the images. Oh, here we go. He made this as well that he put on today.
Wake John up. This is lovely.
Look at that. Oh, hang on.
Gorgeous.
Is that even on there?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Regulated squank.
Yeah, look at that.
Yeah, it's lovely.
Yeah, beautiful. Scott's really banging out the park now, I think.
Sorry.
Yeah.
I apologise.
So, yeah, brilliant work, Scott. Keep it up, mate.
That's
I
really
don't know
nice
what he
to do.
does with all these mods. Maybe he sells them. I don't know. Does he?
Oh, good question. I don't know, actually.
I think he
Should do if he doesn't, I reckon. So anyway, that's
Right,
one
I'll
of
see your messages on.
the lovely Scott
You can turn
Bonner.
off your Facebook now. That's it.
That's my
Then you
showcase
can
of the
turn
week.
off your Facebook
Mod
now.
showcase of the week. You've told people where to find more, haven't you? Right.
Sorry, I couldn't hear what you were saying.
You've told people where to find more. It's that Facebook.
Oh yeah, if you want to go and have a look at some more mod showcases, go on to this is page called www.facebook.com, and there's a group called Mod Showcases, and these lovely creative people put their mods up there to show off. Go have a look. It's great.
Very good.
Oh, I'd go and look. I'd go and look if I wasn't on it.
I don't want to do the next bit.
On Facebook.
Let's not do the next bit. Anyway, thank you very much for watching.
Come on, John, lead us into the next one.
Fucking hell, I'd be let down with it.
I'm gonna. Oh, this really sucks.
Come on, lead us into it.
I really don't want to, but I will. I'm going to lead you into the next bit. Craig has an announcement to make, and we're all.
You fucking chicken! I saw that. Then I was like, the delegation.
I'll do it. I don't mind. I'll do it. Okay,
Fine.
I'm going to go back Craig first. Okay, I'm going to do it. Incredibly, sadly, our friend and part of our extended family has decided that tonight is going to be his last show.
Yeah.
Fuck you. And I'm going to let Craig talk you through it. But I just want to say that having worked with Craig for 96 shows, you know, a few he's had off and whatever, but he's always helped in the background. It's been an absolute honour to work with you. It really has, Craig. Without being
You're a fucking mukbang.
or a joke.
Yeah.
I know Richard and Rick are going to jump in a second, but I know without even asking them that we adore you.
Before anyone thinks it's a stunt or a joke or anything like that, me, John, and Rick are absolutely mortified that it isn't a joke at all.
No.
Yeah,
No,
It's just a show on the internet. It's just a show on the internet.
No, we totally
That's
understand.
what it is.
We totally understand, but at the same time, we're absolutely good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know if you want to say.
I say thank you.
I just love doing it. Just 1 second. Just 1 second. I just thought, can you zoom in on John's face? Let's just see John's face. Look at it. Oh.
That's going to be.
I am absolutely gutted, honestly. I am absolutely gutted, seriously. We've shared, you know, because I didn't even know. I actually spent the first time I ever met Craig, I spent a whole day with him at Vape Fest. Did you know who the fuck he was? Because he had this stupid fucking icon on Facebook that wasn't his face, though. Who the fuck he was? And we sat and chatted for ages, and then I realised he was Craig. And
yeah, and then we walked back. Then we walked all the way back to the hotel, and yeah, it was all the way back into town, wasn't it?
no, this is the first time. You know, the first time I met you at Vape Fest 2015.
Yeah,
We
that's
sat
right. Yeah,
by
in the
Tim's
public.
trailer.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, with Jamie and everybody. Yeah.
Jamie and everybody else, and then I'm sure we've done how the show kind of begun, but how the entire Ideal Home show started was plumes, and they picked who they kind of had this idea that they wanted a British plumes, and they kind of chucked some ideas out, and I can't remember, but somebody said, I think we should have Dean, and then Fu said, I think we should have John, and there was this idea of having Craig, and then Dean.
Yeah, it kind of went. Yeah, it kind of went. It originally went that, like, I think John and Fu, and I think Angsty was in a little bit on it as well, and they kind of went. They kind of asked Dean, and I think Dean had got an idea for doing something anyway before that, but they kind of went to Dean and asked Dean. And then as a side of that, Dean went and asked Rick, but I didn't know Rick at all at that point.
No, didn't know Rick.
Then Sean asked me. Then Sean asked me in the hangout, because we were in ECR all the time. I'd known Sean for about a year at that point already, and I said no. Then Dean asked me, and I said no. And then they went and got John, and it was like, oh, for fuck's sake, because I can't really say no to John. So I was like, oh, yeah, all right then. It was kind of like, well, that's the way it went. It was kind of like I turned down fucking Sean and turned down Dean. And then when John went and said he was going to do it, it was like, no, John's going to need help.
That's a constant. That's a constant in my life. I totally agree.
Here we are 96 weeks later, you know, 2 months shy of 2 years. Yeah. You know, I think we should all give Craig, you know, a hand for devoting so much time, almost, you know, at least 2 hours, almost 2 hours every week live for 9 months.
And that's just
way,
the live
way
bit.
more. Craig does Craig does, just let me Craig, don't speak, because you just let us just kind of give you this kudos, because Craig edits the run sheet every single week without fail. Craig does goes back and finds all the news. Richard does exactly the same.
So 70% of the news on the show for the last 96 shows is from Craig.
It's from Craig. Craig goes back and finds all the shit. Fuck knows what we're going to do. You're going to have to listen to my bollocks every single week. But Craig goes back and he finds it, and then he edits the run sheet, and he tells us when it's ready, and he does all this shit, and he does it all in the background. And there's only these three twats who thank him for it every single week, because he puts that much into it, and he really, really does. And don't think it's not appreciated, because we all understand what it takes to do what you do, and it is massively appreciated.
Absolutely. So thank you, Craig.
Thank you for every single thing you've done, and thank you for everything. I'm sure everyone who's ever met you at everything is absolutely, you know, it's Craig. He's fucking awesome.
Yeah,
we're losing an arm. We're losing an arm there off of this dial.
As long as it's not your right arm, you're all right.
Well, I just thought of something. We're going to end this. We're going to end Craig's tenure with a competition, which is Craig's best bits. I've got to find some.
I've written another thing down very quickly, which was,
okay, go for it.
I want to put something forward to get vetoed into the Hall of Fame, because I think he's going to fall through the cracks, and I think he should go in. And don't worry, it's not the Uber2.
Oh, we'll give you a freebie.
Yeah, you can have an entry. You can have an immortalities, or whatever they call it. What is it?
Right, if one's going in, because it's never going to win either category, which is the problem. It kind of falls between two stools,
Okay.
which is I want to put the origin.
We'll give you the origin.
That's going in.
Okay.
That's going in the Hall of Fame.
What's it called? Emeritus or something like that? Something like that.
What?
Something gets a special exception. In your honour, Craig, we'll add that to the Hall of Fame.
Oh, okay. Yeah. So yeah, the origin has got to go in.
Origin.
No, I just want to say thank you to everybody that's done it. The main reason was it's a lot of work, and it's kind of, you know, as anybody will tell you, kind of gets invested in, especially in things like Facebook, or they get invested in any forum that they're on, whether it be Planet of the Vapes or ECF or any of those kind of places. It's a huge investment, and Mark and Scott and all of the reviewers and everybody else tell you a similar kind of thing. All of this it's a really, really big investment. And I think my advice would be, don't do it.
Can I just? I'm just going to rant to you.
Don't do it.
Do you know what the guy Dave Clement once gave me the best quote ever on a PM, right? And it was about, we were talking about when I used to help run Safer Vapors, and he made the best comment ever, which was that all the time that you use on these things is stolen time. Right, it's stolen from everything you do in every. I'm not trying to big anything up, but do remember that the people like Mark and Scott, and I'm not going to put ourselves into this, whatever, but all this time is stolen. It doesn't come free. It comes from the fact that people put this time in, and Craig has put 96 shows into this. Into, you know, there have been nicked hours that don't exist, that have been taken away, yeah, there is a huge appreciation for you out there. But Craig, we have to end with the fact that your giveaway, your personal giveaway. I'm about to post a video.
Yeah, what are you gonna do? Because I've got
short video. Hold on, I'm going to post this short daft video on the Ideal Home Show page, which is on www.facebook.com. It's the blue one, and it's called, it just says comp time, Craig's best bits. I'm quite happy that people post, you know, their thoughts and feelings on Craig going as well, but also
wanker.
Cut your send me a timestamp, as you know, on YouTube. If you can click and actually get the timestamp and get the bit, your best Craig bit, and you will win. Or you can cut the video if you know how to do that. If you can do a screen record and post the video of Craig's best bits, and what you can win is Craig.
I've got various bits. I'll try and figure them out. There's a Gala Tech, there's a Serpent RDTA, I've got a Siren 25, there was a Lancer that Richard sent me, which I'll stick in a box. There was a Aura Mega, which I'll stick that in a box. I'll figure some other bits out. I've got some other odds that.
I'm going to check this in.
Oh yeah, Richard's going to put the little. Yeah, we'll figure some bits out. If anybody else has got any other bits, if they want to throw them in,
basically the winner's going to get a fuckload.
I've got some bits and bobs.
Yeah. I've got a Coil Master kit that I don't use.
I'll tell you what, as well, you can have any Just Ag Nick kit, and that is any Just Ag Nick kit that we've got on the site.
There you go.
Pick one. Fuck it. Pick two. I'll send it to you.
Yeah. So, but no, I just before I kind of play, I'm going to play the video before you hit the switching off button. But yeah, I just want to just thanks to everybody really, and thanks to the folks on the group. I'm not planning on going anywhere, I don't think.
Stay on.
I'm still going to be around. Yeah. It's kind of it's you know, so I'll still be around and doing all that kind of stuff. So I'll still be doing the conventions and
Daryl Waring.
Go on then, finish it off. You see, Daryl failed. No game, Daryl. But yeah, just to thank everybody on the group and just do things, you know, my advice to anybody who's kind of like watching and things like that is kind of appreciate the group a bit and make sure you make the most of it, because these things are kind of temporal and there's a lot of groups out there that kind of come and go. And I think we've done pretty well over the last 96 shows to make somewhere which is kind of entertaining and educational at the same time, which I think is sadly missing in a lot of other places. So yeah, just have a good giggle, and I can't wait to see who you get for a fucking stand in there. You're fucked. Yeah. No, I'm not. I'm just going to sit back and laugh. And just
Craig,
go, you thinking of who?
I think we're going to hit your video, and then we're going to kill the feed.
Right. Okay. Right. Are you ready, Rick?
Go for it, mate. Yeah, go on. Right.
Thank you very much for watching the RDA show.
Oh, damn it. Started again now.
Thank you very much for watching the RDA show. See you next Thursday.
See you next Thursday.
See you later.
Wankers. See you in a bit.
Say goodbye, Craig. I'll leave it on you. Give us a wave.